So Bob and I just pretty much started working together. And, he helped me learn how to set goals, learn how to set meaningful goals. I obviously first started at, very, very low level, and, he saw me just hitting them real quick. So he kind of challenged me to challenge myself, just to kind of think out of the box. And first senior national cut when I was 13, made it by 1/100th, and then went to nationals and got dead last. Added 4 seconds. 6 months later, I broke 2 minutes for the first time. 6 months later, I made my first Olympic team. 15 years old. And then went to my first Olympics, and I made the team 157.50 to make the team. And our goal was to drop a second, 156.48. And I was upset, to be honest. I'm very hard on myself. I wanted a medal. I didn't care what color it was, I wanted a medal. I wanted one of those things around my neck. And so I was less than 2/10 out of a bronze medal. So the very next day I was in the pool training again. I wasn't happy, I wanted more. So we started training, getting ready for World Championship trials in 2001 in Austin. And I broke a world record, first world record. 15, 9 months, signed my first contract. And then things just, one thing after another, after another, after another. I could just sit here and keep talking. Well, if you want to stop me and ask me that question,
You're doing it pretty well.
keep going.
So would you say that your relationship with Bob has been smooth the whole time, or would you say there's been some ups and some downs? And why is that?
Let's just say until I was 18, maybe 18, 19, Bob would say jump and I would say how high. But then I started figuring out that I can talk back. I'm a stubborn person, extremely stubborn. And he would tell me to do certain things, and I used to always say no. And then we quickly nixed that word out of our vocabulary. So I couldn't say no and can't. Because he wanted me to always think that I could do anything I put my mind to. If he gave me 10,000 for time, and I said no, I can't do that. I'm already right there. I'm shutting everything down, and I'm already saying to myself, no matter what, I'm not going to do this. So he just sort of, I guess he would always play games with me to try to make me realize that I could do anything I put my mind to. And once I started realizing that, then we saw more eye to eye. But sure, we had ups and downs. Bob and I would have full-on arguments, yellings. I'll never forget this story. There was one day we were doing 400 freeze long course, and
A long course is a
50-meter pool, Olympic-sized pool. And he said, he was like, you need to be at this time right now. I was like, no, I'm good at this time. I was like, I'll just keep going this pace. And I literally said it, I waited until the clock was about to beep. So as soon as it beeped, I could just push right off the wall, and I would have the last word. Yes, we're very mature. So I remember I was going down the pool, and I was breathing to my right, or my left, and I looked over, and I saw him going crazy, whistling. I was like, oh, that's fine, I'll just breathe on this side. I don't see you at all. And I get down to the other end of the pool, and sure enough, there's kickboards and pool boys right in the middle of the lane. So when I flip, I would hit him, but I would just keep swimming. I wouldn't stop. I wouldn't breathe his way, and then he would go to that side, and I'd breathe on the other side. And I think I ended up getting kicked out that day.
That happened kind of
Yeah, I got kicked out a lot. I was a little brat. I won't lie. But I think one of the greatest things that we had about our relationship is we both wanted to be the best. And the times where we did have our blow-ups were where I was so tired and I was so broken down that he wanted to see how far he could actually push me, just so I was ready for anything that came my way. And sure, like everything in life, you're gonna be tired, you're gonna be sore. There are some days where you won't have the best attitude, but those are the days where we need to push through even harder. So he was just really challenging me. Essentially, would have been for 2008.
So talk about the calendar, like you had no days off.
None. 5 years straight, 365 days a year.
Not Thanksgiving.
Nope.
Not Christmas. Not birthdays.
Christmas Day. I'd probably jump in at 8 a.m. Christmas Day.
I think there was one day off for a wisdom tooth, wasn't there? Maybe?
Probably.
I think that was it.
So it was every day. And our theory behind that was everyone else has Sundays off. So if you get 52 days out of the year, it's a big advantage.
That's 52 days that everybody else wasn't doing.
And the biggest thing was, if you miss one day, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. So they were always playing catch up. So I was just getting that much further and further and further and further away. But it was true, I didn't like it. When I was in high school, I would have liked to hang out with my friends on a Friday night or Saturday night, but that was a sacrifice that I was willing to give up because I wanted this more than anything. I wanted to be the best person that I could be. I wanted to be the first person that ever has done something that nobody else had ever done before. I wanted to change the sport of swimming. And that was something that I told my agent at 15. I remember meeting with him and he said to me, he's like, what do you want me to do for you? And I said, I want to change the sport of swimming.
You've talked about goal setting, and we've talked about this lots. Besides goal setting, you've also internalized the idea of visualizing. How did that come to you, and why has that been such a key component of your success?
I started visualizing, I guess, when I was 14. It was just something, one of the other things that Bob wanted me to be prepared for in anything that happened. So
you would actually see the races in your head before you actually swim.
Yeah, I would lay in bed and at night and I just lay there normally, eyes closed, and sometimes I would see how I don't want the race to go. The best case scenario, how it could go with based off my training. Just so when I got to the race, when I got to that day, I was ready for anything. You could use the example from 2008, the 200 fly. The 200 fly in 2008, my goggles filled up with water as soon as I dove into the pool. That was something I had already prepared myself for. If you're not ready for something like that, it just destroys that whole race. So I was prepared for that. I was prepared for my string ripping in a suit or a cap ripping or whatever it is. You just have to. You never know what's going to happen. And if you're prepared for everything,